All right, good morning and welcome to the 2026 garden. I am so excited to document all of this. It is a beautiful morning. It is June 1st, super early in the morning, and I am just going to go through and kind of do a quick walkthrough of everything that I have going on and everything that we've gotten planted. I think that I have planted over 750 annuals in the perennial gardens and, in the vegetable gardens and all of that. I also have a little bit of footage that I'm going to add here that is from a few months ago that just kind of shows the early spring to late spring garden. So here we go. All right, well, welcome to the 2026 garden. The first fun thing that I thought I would do, it is April 12th today. It is finally a very warm and humid day, which is weird for April in Minnesota, but I thought that it would be a great opportunity to kind of go through the garden and just show the mess that it is after winter and how much work we end up putting into making it as beautiful as we do by the early spring. All of the hard work that will go into that. We can start over here. This is going to be rebuilt because this got taken out by a storm last year, which is fine. All of this is obviously not grown yet. Oh, that's funny. I've been feeding the squirrels and the rodents all winter, and this is one of their treats that they get is dried corn on the cob, and obviously the squirrel stole it and brought it back here for right now. But anyways, sorry. Yeah, this is all just a big mess. We had a big branch come down in the front yard during a big storm in March that knocked the top of our tree off. So we have to get that all cleaned up. We'll just burn it as a bonfire. And back here, just get everything all cleaned up. This fell over, everything just kind of goes to crap over the winter. So everything just needs a once over. These beds did really good. I thought that the soil levels would sink a lot more. This is their third summer, so it looks like they're finally doing a little bit better back here. This bird bath is so eclectic and whatever, but the birds love it. So you know what? I'm just going to keep it. All of its paint is chipped off of it, but it works out really well. I'm going to try to see what I can do in here. I tried to grow mint down in here and it's just not working very well. So it kind of dies back by the end of the season. So I need to figure something else out in there. This is the sad hydrangeas. This will be really cool to see once they start growing and they get so lush and beautiful, but they are not lush and beautiful right now. There's more over there. And then just this main garden, like all of this needs to probably be redone. Look at these rabbits. They'll just eat anything, right? They just chewed everything back. It looks like pruners come through and do it, but that's the rabbits eating and maybe those were sweet peppers last year. So I was going to say those were spicy too, but they weren't. But you can kind of see these are the hostas that will come back. Some of the grass that grows in here. Some of the ground cover is really starting to come up. Again, it's only April. It could still snow. It will definitely still freeze for another month. That we'll still get freezing nights. You can see the tree here. I can never remember. What's this tree? Gus, what's this tree? A tamarack tree. You can see the tamarack tree is just starting to grow its needles again. So that's the cool part about focus. The cool part about a tamarack tree is that it loses its needles every year. It's a kind of a cool little tree. I don't know what these are. It'll be interesting to see if these turn into little pine cones, because it does get little like pine cones on it. So it seems really healthy. I don't know. Interesting. But coming over here, so we got to clear out all of these leaves out of here. Get the paths back open up. You kind of want to wait until a little farther along in spring. A lot of beneficial insects are just living in under all of this ground cover and all of these leaves and stuff. That's where they overwinter, so you don't want to take it off too soon. But here's the dead lilies. These are the tree lilies that get 5 feet tall. It's about as tall as I am. And up over here, the green stalk. I've got strawberries coming to put in that. And we're really, really hoping that that is the trumpet vine, and we're really hoping that that comes back this year. That is always real late, so it won't be until like June that we'll probably see any growth on that. So it's going to be a couple more months before I'm going to know whether it's going to come back. This is my rose that it does look like it's, I mean, it at least didn't get chomped by anything over the winter. You can kind of see here that something did chew the very top of it. So the snow at some point got deep enough that it was up high enough that the rabbit must have been able to at least go over the edge and eat out of there. So that's kind of a concern when you're growing or making protection for your plants. The blueberries look amazing already. We can walk over there. Try not to step on the stuff that I did plant in here, but the blueberries look amazing. They're gonna flower pretty soon. I would say that they're looking really nice and healthy. So I'll get a lot of fertilizer down in there. This is last year we moved them, so this year should be a big year for them. Very excited for that. Over here is kind of a cool little thing to see that I planted tulips all along here. I always buy them and I never put them in the ground, which is just such a waste of money. So this year I did put them in the ground. I've got some along the front of this garden, along over here, and possibly even here. Well, I don't really see any there. I know I did some out front too. And then of course there's just the raised beds that are just resting. They're just waiting. We need to build our tomato trellises. We have the things. We just haven't had decent enough weather to come out and do it. This is funny. This is the bunny jumping up into my 32-inch raised bed garden because she's got a little platform over there to jump up in here. And I think she was trying to make a nest in here, which is completely unacceptable, and I won't allow it. But that's okay. Looks like she moved on. So just the tomatoes, and yeah, it's a gorgeous day. Oh, I should show this. I mean, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. It's not growing perfectly, but this is the forsythia that we really, really, really chopped back last year. And I was really excited to see that it's blooming. The forsythia blooming also means that some of the beneficial insects are going to be coming out of the ground. And this is going to be their first food. I did see a butterfly just a few minutes ago. I tried to get a photo of it, but it didn't work out. But so it's crazy how early some of these insects come out. It's really cool. You can see in here, this is the little bee house. These won't be long. It is usually April. Oh, actually, you can see right here. That one there, that one, the bee already came out of it. So it overwintered in there. Oh, there's quite a few of them. That one's open too. Oh, that's really cool. It's fun to see. I don't know if any of these, this one got attacked over and over again over the winter. I kept finding the tubes out of it, so I don't know how well it did. And then we can come check this one. This one has a lot of them filled. Well, not a lot, but there's more of these ones filled than the one over there. So those will be coming out this spring too. Anyways, so it won't be long that we can switch this video over into a nice lush garden video. Just to start up here at the entryway into the backyard, I've got the green stalk going. I kind of just put alyssum in it this year. Alyssum seems to do really well in it, so that's what we're going to do. We have these pots with some beautiful begonias that some of them I started and some of them I purchased, with a beautiful coleus that I'm hoping will enjoy the shade back here. As usual, our little impatient pots that grow up in that area up over there. Over here we've just got the pot next to the door that we always grow the purple fountain grass with a few double impatiens in. So these are really, really beautiful. They kind of remind me of roses. but way easier to grow. This pot I am very excited for this year. This is my Last of the Bugs Noah Kahn nod. And so I put some like beautiful, vibrant red with the dark, moody black in there. And I'm hoping that stays as beautiful as it is right now. It sounds like, I apologize if there's a dog barking in the background. Must be one of the neighbor's dogs. It's just so beautiful. The Blackstone needs to come up on the patio here and all of that, but we'll get to that eventually. We've got the hostas over here. I used to have really nice lilies back there, but I had some rabbits last year that nested under this patio, and the babies ate all of them. So they didn't come back. I need to replant some of those. This is turning out gorgeous. I usually do a hot lip salvia in this, but I this year just did this pink and red along with some begonias and a lantana. So I'm hoping that the hummingbirds really enjoy that. Kind of coming back over to the patio over here, we've got just beautiful pots of plants, right? A dahlia and the geraniums, and I just think that the color here is going to be really beautiful. This year we have the centerpiece tomato is a solar flare tomato because it was one of the most healthy ones. So that's what got put in there. And then of course the Berries Crazy Cherries on the patio. The Mandevilla does seem to be growing quicker this year, so I'm pretty excited about that. We've had problems with it just not growing very well the last couple of years, and I kind of gave it one more chance this year. They're not cheap, and so I'm not going to grow them if they don't want to grow. Down here, these are just kind of volunteers that show up in the garden. These are columbines, and so we've got beautiful colors of the columbines. Eventually the worms will come in and eat the plants back, and everything will go back there. Still have one flat of things. Those are the elephant ears and some lilies that I need to go plant out, but it used to be 25 flats, and now it's just like 2 or 3, so I feel good about that. We've got my mom's pots that are all planted, what she called Million Bells, the Calabrechia with the yellow Calabrechia that she loved. I didn't mention the hummingbird feeder here that's empty. The raccoon found it, and so every night if I fill it, she just comes and guzzles it down. So I found a new one and put it over on the other side over there, but I can't fill that one until, well, maybe never. Not there anyway. This flower is really cool. I am loving it. That is that's really fun to have on the patio too. And of course the hops trellis, I'm gonna trip over the garden here, is already just so crazy. It's just turned so perfect. It took a few years for it to get to be what we wanted it to be, but yeah, the beautiful afternoon shade for the patio over there. Over here in the vegetable garden, things are beautiful and doing really, really well. I've got some micro dwarf tomatoes that we've got growing in there. I've got the turtle here with his begonias growing in him, and I always put some basil. There you go, basil in that pot. So then up over here, we've just got this garden is just always turns out so gorgeous with the big full hostas and the bird bath and the little thing of impatiens. We lost our minds and it was fantastic. We decided to cut back the forsythia completely and just let it regrow. It was just too crazy and it needed something. So we cut it all back and we're letting it regrow this year. I believe that even in the few days that it's already growing back up. So that's amazing. The vegetable gardens are all pretty much planted out. There's one little spot over on that one that needs a little bit of stuff. I can run through quickly, but everything is just looking really healthy. We've got like the radishes and some peppers. I've got some sunflowers in here, the pro-cut sunflowers. I didn't plant them as heavily this year, so hopefully I get really good healthy plants. I think my plan right now is that I'm going to plant a few more in like maybe a week and just kind of have a succession of sunflowers coming up in here. And for whatever reason, you learn over the years that the squirrels, they don't really eat anything else in the garden, but they will come and eat the sunflower seedlings when they come up. So I'm sure they smell like the bird feeder, right? And so they come and take those down. So I have to put those protectors around them for the first little bit while they're growing. Over here is just the pepper garden. I do have some, oh my gosh, my brain isn't going to let me do it. Some of this stuff. The pepper garden with the Swiss chard. So this is rainbow chard that is coming up in here. I've got a red, a couple of whites, and a couple of yellows that are growing in over there. And then of course the tomato wall is really coming in very nice. The rain yesterday definitely helped everything be happy. These are broccolis that I started myself, which I'm silly proud of. The ones over here I bought at the garden center. Same with this little guy. I started most of this stuff myself. So yeah, we've got all the tomatoes coming in. I've got all the different brassicas growing over here. I'm starting these peas. These are called Mrs. Gus's peas because apparently I gave starts to a friend years ago and she has amazing success with them. And I never have any success with peas. So she is sharing some of my peas back to me to see if maybe I can get them to grow. The balsam is starting to bloom, which the bumblebees will be very happy about. We've got some pak choi in here and more peppers. We've got the carrots. This is a little sparse and I'm a little sad about that. It dried out one afternoon and got a little crazy. This needs to be thinned. This is dill over here and carrots along here. And the beans are starting to hit the trellis, so shouldn't be long before this trellis is completely overtaken by all of these beans. Plus, I have 2 different squashes growing in here that I'm excited to see if I can get them to grow. What is this? This is Butter Baby from Johnny's. And then one little honey nut that didn't do very well, but it does seem to be coming back. And then the cucumbers along the back over there. And we did put in, we'll talk about it more when I make a tomato video, but my tomatoes were flopping over the fence and constantly getting broken off. So we made these crazy trellises. They're probably hard to see a little bit on the video, but and just to decorate them a little bit, I grew more beans up the front edges of these. So I'm hoping that they become big bushy trellises by the end of summer. Things are getting awful pretty over here also. I do have flats of strawberries that I got the bare root strawberries, and I'm letting them grow in. I'm going to plant them in the pink green stalk over there in the next week or so. I just wanted to let them get a little bit more established. The blueberries are doing okay. The one in the front is doing amazing. The one in the middle is doing all right. The one in the back, not great at all. It didn't put any fruit on. So I'm not exactly sure what I need to do about that. So I will need to Google it. Maybe I need to cut it back and let it grow back. I decided to not grow zucchini in my actual raised gardens this year because they're just so unruly, and I actually never got any zucchinis last year, so I'm not sure what was going on. I will say that without a doubt I'm going to get zucchinis this year because I already have little baby zucchinis down in there. So this does seem to be working much better for the zucchinis so far. These are, I was influenced by Jessa's Russet and Refuge, which happens to me a lot. These are Nat King cherries. They did not blossom this year. They were just little baby sticks when I got them. So they're doing really well. They're in these pots. I will probably end up moving them, and that's fine. This stuff all needs to be moved also. These are all perennials that are in pots, but the only way that I can get perennials to overwinter is by burying the pot in the ground. So that's how I overwintered all of these, and they are doing beautiful. So they need to be put into the ground over there. And then back over here, we have the 3 pots that have potatoes in them. those will come up eventually. These are more micro dwarf tomatoes that are just scattered throughout the garden. And then the trumpet vine. I was so worried that this wasn't going to come back this year, and it came back so beautifully and is so healthy and happy. So it's hopefully in its forever home, and we never have to move it again. And it just very, very happy to see that hopefully this year it's very healthy and gets a bunch of blooms on it. And yeah, just really great to see that. We have the 2 corn pots. This one I think, I don't remember, I'd have to look. This one I think might be pink and that one might be blue, but they are both coming up really nice. Again, one of the few things the squirrels get into is these, so they get cages around them. There are some sunflowers that are starting back there. Those ones are the Sunflower Steve sunflowers, so I'm really excited, and they were not super cheap, so I want to make sure that those get protected. But these beds, I just packed them full of annuals this year, and I hope that they turn out beautiful. Same with the green stock over here. Those are the 3 green stalks, and I'm just trying to, I again put alyssum and then some lobelia, like kind of tumbling in there. It looks like that's so funny. Look at a squirrel planted a walnut tree in one of these back ones, and the walnut is coming up back there, so I'll have to get that out of there, but that's kind of funny. Castor beans are just babies, but they'll get over the fence by the end of the summer. To my left is the lily garden, and it's pretty crazy. The one thing that I am having problems with is I have invasive lily beetles in here. And I didn't realize it last year until it was too late and they had kind of decimated the lilies. Thankfully, it didn't seem like it killed them, so I'm glad to see that. But I am handpicking them every day, a couple times a day right now, to try and keep them under control and not let them get all crazy and eat them all back by the end of the summer. So we'll see how that goes. We have our sad little birdhouse. It has a hole in it and it needs to be rebuilt, but I do think that the wrens are trying to nest in it. So, but this summer we're going to have to rebuild a few more birdhouses and put them back up. They just get old after a while. Got some pots around here. Oh, she just came out of the nest. I'm going to keep moving on. Over here, Bill cleaned this up so nice in under the tamarack tree and put some impatiens down in there. We've got these pots all built out beautifully. This area is the area that will get redone this year. Okay, hilarious. But here's the little wren, all mad that I'm by his house. He's just mad. Oh, that's so cute. Okay, back to the garden. This area is a jungle and it needs to be cleaned out, and we are going to have to do that this summer. There are some things that obviously are going to stay. This huge hosta is probably my favorite plant in my entire garden, which is crazy to say. It's just kind of a plain hosta, but it gets enormous. It grows so well for me, and I just love it so much. One of the things that probably is going to screw us up so that we can't plant back here, we'll see what happens, is I planted some squash in this pot, and I'm just going to let them ramble back here and, see if maybe they'll... I just never have very good luck with squash. I just don't think I have the room for it, but I always try. So, oh, and a silly thing, I started these geraniums from seed, so I'm very proud of this pot over here. Such a silly thing that us gardeners do, that we're excited when we start something from seed and it does so well. So hopefully this will get beautiful back here. We got a Hot Lips salvia in there, and some more miniature tomatoes down here. Got some peppers in with the flowers back here. These irises, I mean, they take so much abuse. These were my grandma's irises that I dug out of her yard, and they're the only ones that ever bloom for me because they can just handle the abuse. They just handle being crazy. I've got all of these over here, and I'm gonna get one bloom off of them. Totally know this is my fault. I need to dig them up and take better care of them, but that's okay. I love this planter. It's always so pretty. Hopefully the ground, we can get some grass to grow over here this summer. But and then up in this garden, this is just going to be beans. up over here, and then I put a few more of the dwarf tomato extras that I had. I grew way too many here, and then a few extra lipstick peppers that I had available. But otherwise, oh, and I did put my last of my broccoli. We'll see. We'll see if it grows back here. I don't know. It's always a test. All right, here's the stuff that you don't show on the internet is the mess, but I think the mess makes sense to show. So this is the wood pile. This is all just kind of all the stuff that we've cut back. There's the trees from out front that grow in the garden out there that we hate. And then this is the forsythia that got cut back. And we're just letting it dry out. And I have a little wood chipper that I will chip it through and make mulch out of that. And then we need to cut up and burn this wood from a couple giant branches that came down over the winter. And the crazy burn pile is always a treat. Again, we need to get grass seed in over here. We had a compost pile that got out of control over here, and so Bill worked his tail off and got that all dug up and spread out, and we used the compost. And then this was where that raised bed used to be, so this needs some grass seed. We have the spreader now, and we're gonna have to do that. It wasn't raining up until yesterday, so we needed to do that. And then over here we have the hydrangea, and you can see that this thing is happy and it's healthy and it's taking over this whole area. I wouldn't even mind if it decided to spread, up over here, and that this whole giant area here was just hydrangea bushes. That would be really cool to see. Back here, I do have some forsythias. These are little starts that I did years ago, and I finally planted them back here, I don't know, last year. And the rabbits just eat them down during the winter. So I don't know if I need to try to protect them or just let them get big enough. Maybe protect them until they get big enough that the rabbits can't knock them completely down. And then over here, all the memorial gardens. We've got the moose and grandma and grandpa sign in here, and I need to clean up this trellis. The hops are growing back up over here, and I bought some, whatever they're called, morning glories. So I'm hoping that those take off this year. I am going to fill the back here with those elephant ears, so those need to go in over here. I was worried about the squirrels getting these. These are calla lilies, and I had that cage, so we decided to pop it in there so hopefully these calla lilies grow beautiful. And, things back here are starting to get really nice. I'm really hoping that we have success this year. I have struggled a little bit, and I do think that it has a lot to do with the trees kind of taking the nutrients out of the bottom of these gardens. So I'm going to fertilize the heck out of them, and we mulched them with some half-done compost, and that seems to be really helping them grow up a little bit more. That sign we still need to fix. We need to get a piece of wood big enough to go behind it so that you can read it a little bit better. It's the Carol and Daryl in memory. It's really cute. It's really hard to see, but it's a campfire at a lake, which of course they loved to go camping, so that was really appropriate. And just all the other sweet signs. I need to get a Grace sign for back here too. Our sweet niece Grace passed away in November, and so we need to get a sign for her. And then just the pots and stuff back here. I think that's almost it. The compost, we were having a lot of problems with raccoons getting in there, so Bill built a little cover for it. Oh, it looks really nice back here. The compost area looks very organized right now. That's fun to show. It doesn't always look like that, right? It's a very working area back here. This year we were supposed to rebuild this, but I've just decided that 2 is fine. The third one got broken in a storm last year, so we're just going to go with 2 cucamelon trellises back here for the year, and maybe next year we'll rebuild it when we have a little bit more time. Maybe we keep traveling in May, and last year and this year, and so some of those projects are tough to work in. This garden it used to be really pretty, and now it's this. It's not that great, but hopefully it'll come back. It used to have a lot of bee balm in it, and the bee balm died back because I don't remember exactly why. I think it got mulched too heavily, and then the bee balm didn't come back. So, anyways, we got to figure something out to just be crazy back here. But yeah, and then the little begonias that I always plant back here. And I did put my third. I had an extra castor bean, so I put the third one here. Hopefully, he gets big and tall and crazy. He might not get enough sun. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Oh my gosh, this is really exciting. I have to show you. So, I was just walking here, and what I see is a black swallowtail butterfly. The reason that that is so exciting is because he came out of my butterfly house. So, my butterfly house last fall, I had 4. We're going to find which chrysalis it was that opened. These are the black swallowtail chrysalises that opened. So one of these opened, I would assume. Oh my gosh, maybe not. I don't see that these are open. I thought that this would be one of mine, but I don't know that it is. Anyways, how cool is this? To find a black swallowtail butterfly just in the grass in the garden. Okay, sorry for the silliness. I figured it out. This one is empty. Like, you can see through it now. And like, this one is not empty. It is still, it won't focus, but that one is still like filled. So 2 of them came out so far. Probably the other 2 will come out in the next days or 2. I put a perennial. Oh my gosh, focus. I put a perennial that I had in here just to keep them safe this morning. It's really early in the morning. They are not going to fly, and the birds will hunt them. So I'm just going to keep them safe until it's warmer this afternoon and they've had a little bit of time to, you know, adjust to life on this side of the chrysalis. But so exciting, so beautiful. Look at him. Oh my God, focus. There we go. Look at how gorgeous that is. So cool. It's a eastern black swallowtail butterfly. I'll put a correction if I'm wrong. Well, I wasn't going to come out here this morning and do this tour, but I'm glad I did because that made me find those butterflies. So I hope you enjoy geeking out about butterflies as much as I do. That's my first garden tour. I will try to keep up on them as the summer goes on. I love documenting this stuff for myself and sharing it with my friends. So, yeah, thanks for watching and happy gardening. And just to close it off, we have this robin that just, first of all, has no fear of us. Second of all, she's got like, she has like fluffy feathers on her back. And I don't know why, if something tried to get her or what, but sits up here and just sings so beautiful. So we'll let Fluffy close out the video.